August 2020, planetary transits for Aries and Aries rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Aries on the ascendant, Eastern Daylight Time, New York. We began August 1st, 2020, with 3 retrograde planets in Capricorn in the 10th house sector: Jupiter at 20 degrees, Pluto at 23 degrees, and Saturn at 27 degrees of Capricorn, retrograde. The Sun is placed in the 5th house at 9 degrees of Leo. The planet Mercury is in the 4th house at 22 degrees of Cancer. Venus is at 24 degrees of Gemini in the 3rd house sector. Mars is moving through the 1st house at 18 degrees of Aries. Neptune is at 20 degrees of Pisces, retrograde in the 12th house. The Moon is in Capricorn at 8 degrees in the 10th house sector, and Uranus is in the 2nd house at 10 degrees of Taurus. Overview: transiting Mars in Aries will be in high tension all month, forming 3 90-degree square aspects, specifically Mars squared Jupiter, Mars squared Pluto, and Mars squared Saturn. I can't emphasize enough the fact that these planetary squares will be impacting the charts of every single person on this planet. To put it bluntly, these are frictional, frustrating, potentially violent energies that seek expression by taking extreme action and throwing all caution aside. Those of you with a predominance of planets or ascendant in midheaven in cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, especially located between 18 to 28 degrees, will be strongly impacted by this tension. Check the planets in your chart, the houses these planets are in and rule, in order to pinpoint where these energies will be felt. Be aware that whatever is moving through your chart will either be expressed directly by you or experienced in projected form, meaning drawing it to you from the environment in the form of people and events. This is not a call to walk around in a state of fear and paranoia. It is a suggestion to exercise extreme caution under these extreme energies. Avoid tempting fate by being reckless in any area of your life or taking risks that require you to throw all caution to the wind, regardless of how intense the inner urge may be to do so. You do not have to act on whatever crazy mood comes over you from day to day. Instead, be alert against craziness coming at you from others. Be vigilant. On August 1st, Mercury opposed Pluto between houses 4 and 10 could bring a mental tug of war with someone in your environment. Aggressive coercion is not the way to win anyone over to your ideas. Try diplomacy instead, especially if born April 12th. That's the date of exactitude. Sun square Uranus on August 2nd between houses 5 and 2 may bring an unexpected disruption with a loved one due to a clash in values. On another level, curb impulse spending to gratify an emotional need and not a necessity. August 3rd brings the full moon, 11:59 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 11 degrees of Aquarius in opposition to the Sun at 11 degrees of Leo, spanning houses 11 and 5, highlighting the tension between friendships and group commitments versus obligations toward loved ones. The planet Uranus at 10 degrees of Taurus is making a disruptive, rebellious, high-tension square to this full moon from your 2nd house. The issue of who you value more, a friend or lover, may be put to the test. Also on August 3rd, Mercury opposed Saturn between houses 4 and 10 could bring the desire to sever ties in a relationship because of a total breakdown in communication between you. Avoid acting on impulse right now. Instead, clear your mind and let the dust settle. On August 4th, Mars squared Jupiter between houses 1 and 10 is an energy of excess in action and in self-expression. Avoid going overboard or saying too much, especially in your career. This is exactitude for April 7th, 8th, and 9th birthdays. That doesn't mean everyone else will not feel it. Everyone will. It's just that the dates of exactitude will feel it more intensely. Also, on August 4th, the planet Mercury enters Leo and moves into your 5th house. On August 7th, the planet Venus enters Cancer and moves into your 4th house. On August 10th, Mercury will square Uranus between houses 5 and 2, indicating the possibility of a sudden disagreement with a loved one concerning financial expenditures or values. Mars squares Pluto on August 13th, and it's an aspect that warns against power struggles with authority figures. Pluto energies can seem very threatening to those around you, who will then react by trying to stop you. Obviously not the way to win anyone over. Of course, you may experience this energy in projected form and draw in someone who is overstepping your boundaries. As an aspect of potential violence, stay away from volatile people and conditions. Exactitude for April 11th, 12th, and 13th birthdays from August 12th through the 13th, depending on your location. On August 15th, the planet Uranus turns retrograde at 10 degrees of Taurus in your 2nd house. The Sun trine Mars on August 16th between houses 5 and 1 is a great energy under which to go out and have some fun with loved ones. All recreational pursuits are favored. Mercury trine Mars on August 17th between houses 5 and 1 favors creative pursuits, especially of an intellectual nature, a great aspect for writers. August 18th brings the new moon, 10:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 26 degrees of Leo, 35 minutes in the 5th house, highlighting love, romance, creativity, and recreational pursuits over the month ahead. This new moon is in conjunction with the planet Mercury at 28 degrees of Leo in your 5th house. Expect intense communication over the month ahead. On August 19th, the planet Mercury enters Virgo and moves into your 6th house sector. On August 22nd, the Sun enters Virgo and moves into your 6th house. Mars squares Saturn on August 24th between houses 1 and 10 is an aspect of extreme frustration. Your goals and plans on the career front may seem blocked by circumstances or other people. The tendency is to seethe internally with anger and resentment. Try detaching and letting it go instead, especially if born April 14th, 15th, and 16th. On August 25th, under Mercury trine Uranus between houses 6 and 2, the tension of yesterday may be resolved today by taking a fresh look at circumstances and coming up with some innovative ideas. This is reinforced by Venus opposed Jupiter on the same day between houses 4 and 10, an aspect of generosity in your relationships that serves to alleviate dissension. Venus trine Neptune on August 27th between houses 4 and 12 is an ideal energy under which to stay home, recharge your batteries, and get in touch with the spiritual dimensions of life. On another more practical level, artistic creativity is heightened. Draw up an interior design plan in preparation for the fall season. Mercury trine Jupiter on August 29th between houses 6 and 10 may bring good news about your job or in your career. Two aspects occurring on August 30th can point to relationship dissension, specifically Venus opposed Pluto and Mercury opposed Neptune. Venus opposed Pluto is an aspect of power struggles, manipulation, and coercion, and Mercury opposed Neptune indicates that the weapon employed right now is deception. Give yourself some time and space before making any final decisions or promises in your relationships. You may not have all the facts